Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. For anyone new watching, my name is Chelsea, and I am wearing a shirt. By the way, it's just the halter tube top. So in this video, I'm just going to be kind of showing you guys how I do my kind of no makeup look using some of my current faves. These products are a little bit more kind of towards the higher end of the price spectrum, but I am going to do a video showing the kind of like lower end products that I like to use when I'm doing like a no makeup look. So about my uploads, I am not very consistent with my uploads, and I'm very sorry. I'm trying to do better about my uploads. I'm trying to do better about speaking and looking into the camera. I'm still kind of new to this, even though I've kind of been in and out of the YouTube world for a little bit. But if you guys want to see how I achieve this look, and I'll insert some clips of how it came out, you can keep on watching. Oh, and also be sure to like, comment, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments. I love feedback, positive, negative. I love feedback. So here we go. So the first thing that I make sure that I do when it comes to no makeup or no makeup look, you want to make sure that your skin looks, you know, healthy and glowy and moisturized. So I've already done this. One of the things that I like to use, or a few of the things I like to use to prep my skin for my makeup, just in general, but especially for when I'm doing a no makeup look. One of the things is a good serum before a good moisturizer, and a good option. And again, a lot of these products are going to be kind of on the higher end, but they are worth the investment. You know, I like to invest a lot in my skincare, not so much in my makeup, but I do like to invest a lot in my skincare. Your skin is very important, especially if you are a person of color. You need to be making sure that you're taking extra special care of your skin, because we are already kind of blessed with melanin. It's important that if it blesses you, you should bless it back and take care of it. And I'm just like a big believer on just taking care of your skin. So the first thing I like to do is go in with some type of serum before I use my moisturizer. This is my current fave. It is the Revision Skincare Hydrating Serum. It's an oil-free serum. The next thing I like to do is go in with a good toner. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll tone after a serum, or sometimes I'll tone before a serum, but I think it's more ideal to tone before your serum. So technically the first thing that you should do is go in with a toner, and the one that I'm liking right now is the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Facial Toner, and it looks like this. And it's really awesome. It says that it has rose fruit extract in it, and this is just a really good toner to kind of start off with. I'm going to talk about this in the lower end video that I make, lower end version of this video that I make. But a good option is the Providence Beauty. They sell this at TJ Maxx, and it is the Hyaluronic Acid Hydrate Facial Serum. It's natural and vegan. This is good to use. I really like to use this before my serum, just so that my serum has something to, you know, suck into. But I still have the price tag on it. It's pretty affordable. It's $5.99. They sell these at TJ Maxx and also Marshalls. So, and then after that, it's always important to go in with a good moisturizer. The one that I'm currently loving and that I've been using for like the past 2 years is the Walmart brand. It is the Earth to Skin. The kind that I like is the Honey Manuka Day Gel. And it's really awesome because it's a gel and it's infused with like hyaluronic acid and a lot of other good ingredients such as honey, Manuka honey and things like that, which helps to get the skin pretty moisturized. And then the last thing that you want to do is make sure that you take care of your lips, because if your lips are not moisturized, it kind of takes away from the no makeup look if every part of your face doesn't look moisturized and taken care of. So my current favorite right now is also from the Revision Skincare. It is the Youthful Lip Replenisher, and it comes in a little tube like so. So now that we have skin prep out of the way, so we've toned, did a serum, moisturized, and if it's daytime, make sure you're wearing vitamin C, and make sure that you are wearing what is it called? Not vitamin C, but also sunscreen. Make sure you're wearing sunscreen. And I love I think it is the Neutrogena 100 SPF facial sunscreen. That's really good. So to start off, one of my current faves for doing a no makeup kind of glowy skin like makeup look is the Clinique Even Better Clinical Serum Foundation. This is really awesome if you have acne prone skin like I do. So on the website it says that it is packed with good for skin ingredients, Clinique's exclusive dark spot fighting molecule UP302, vitamin C, salicylic acid, and hyaluronic acid, also with SPF 25. So because of the SPF, I would not recommend this as a day to night foundation if you're going to be taking pictures, because the SPF will flash back you know, at night or with the flash. So I start off with just enough foundation to just kind of cover my face, and then I'll go in with a concealer to do the rest. That really is key to trying to get your skin to look like skin, is to cover up the least amount of skin with the foundation as possible, but then going in with the concealer to cover up anything that the foundation, to cover up anything that the foundation missed. So I'm going to start off with a little bit. I always just kind of eyeball it. I think that is good to start off with. And if you are acne prone, these little sponges here are awesome. They are from the dollar store, like Dollar General. If you're not into beauty blenders or reusing the same sponge, or if you're like me, too lazy to wash that sponge and you just want to dispose of it, these are a good option. Although I feel like the beauty blender might be more eco-friendly because you're reusing the same sponge, but if you want to go that route, use the beauty blender. But these are really awesome if you have acne prone skin and you're not a big fan of reusing the same sponge, or if you're too lazy to wash the same sponge. I'm just going to go in with a little flat brush that I got from like a craft store. It says iMagic Makeup. Okay, and the shade that I'm in this foundation is WN 122 Clove. So get my mirror set up, okay, and just kind of put on, start with a little bit. And for a reference, the only foundation I can think of right now, I can play around with 420 and 430 with Fenty foundation if you want a point of reference of what shades of foundations that I use. And since it is nighttime and I don't plan on going anywhere, I'm just making the tutorial, I more than likely won't put any foundation on my neck or chest, just because I'm about to wash this off. Okay. Grab a little bit more And the key is to just kind of get an even layer. Remember, the concealer is going to do its job too, so don't be impatient and try to cover up every single thing with the foundation. And I'm going to go in with just a tad bit more for my forehead. And I'm thinking about doing like some fun, easy, affordable spring looks on my channel. And if that is something that you guys are into, let me know in the comments. And I have no issue with filming something like that for you guys. And because of my lights and everything is going to be a little bit more washed out and thinned out by the light, so I'm probably going to add a little bit more than what I usually add, just so you guys can see it, just so it shows up on the camera. Because like these areas, like I'll probably end up using a little bit more concealer than what I'm used to, just so you can see it on camera. And the sponge is good for a makeup look like this, because it's going to really help to kind of sheer out the foundation. And take your time, be patient. YouTube never really shows you how long it takes to blend out stuff, so just be very, very patient. And you see how light still kind of moves with my face. That's kind of what we want, you know, throughout the whole makeup look. Even after like concealer and powder, we still want to be able to see some type of skin. Alright, scar right here, but I'm gonna just let that ride. I'm gonna just let that ride for today and just focus on the face. Okay. Okay, so foundation for the most part is done. So the next thing that I'm going to do is start concealing. My current fave is the Fenty Pro Filter Concealer. Okay, and the shade that I am using right now is the 445 shade. It is the shade that's, you know, the closest to my skin tone without, you know, highlighting or adding any type of contour effect. So I'm just going to put some of that on the back of my hand, like so. Okay, and take a tiny concealer brush by Morphe. See if I can find it. I'm going to use the Morphe M421, and this is just a good concealer brush. And yes, my brush is dirty. This is a good concealer brush. I'm too lazy to wash my stuff, which is why I like to use sponges. But make sure that you wash your brushes often. Depending on how much you use it, you know, wash your brushes accordingly. But this is the brush that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to take some of that concealer, and I'm going to start working on the areas that my foundation missed. And I'm going to use different colors of concealer, because when you are a person of color, never use one color because you're not one color. I always use different colors. I know it can be kind of frustrating because that can be expensive, but that's, c'est la vie. That's just life. That is just life. Okay, and we're going to go into the same, we're going to use the same sponge to just kind of go over those areas. Okay, and I hope my camera doesn't die. And I'm not very tech savvy. I'm still trying to figure out how lights and ISO and iris and everything, I'm trying to figure out how that stuff works. So if anything is too harsh or too dark, my bad. And also, to me personally, when you're doing something like this, a few imperfections shining through is kind of pretty to me, because it makes it look a little bit more lifelike and not so perfect. Take a little bit more of my concealer. Okay, and I am a glasses wearer, so I have these little dark areas right here. Okay, using the same concealer, I'm just going to go in with a lighter shade, shade 420, and I'm just going to use that to kind of hit the center areas of my face, because I am a little bit lighter in the center parts of my face. And one thing that I love about the Fenty concealers is that they last a long time, like throughout the day. Is that they last a long time throughout the day, and you can either go full coverage with it, or you can go sheer with it, either or, depending on what you're looking for. Okay. And I'll also kind of bounce back in between my little concealer brush and this little angled eyeshadow brush, and just kind of use that to kind of work it in as well. Okay, so now the next shade that I'm going to use, I'm going to mix a little bit of that same concealer, the Fenty one, the 445 shade, and I think I'll mix it with a little bit of this 470 shade. So I'm just going to mix in the 445 and the 470. Let's see, mix those two together to just kind of tackle, no I'm not. I'm going to, because I did not apply foundation to this part of my forehead, I'm going to go into my Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the shade 57S, and I'm just going to put that in the area that I have not, put foundation on my forehead yet, because this is a little bit darker than my foundation, and that part of my face is a little bit darker than my foundation, or a little bit darker than the rest of my face. So I'm just going to put some of that up there with the same little foundation brush. Just going to add some up here. And then I'm going to go in with, let's see, I'll use this Morphe M173 brush. So this is the Morphe M173 brush. It's kind of like a little dome buffer. I'm just going to kind of swirl that in. And don't be afraid to get it in your hair. Just kind of work it around. Move it all down. Okay. And I might still go in with a little bit of that Fenty 445 and the 470 just to kind of fine tune it just a little bit. And I always forget to flip out my, I have a septum piercing and I always forget to flip it out, but I don't want to get makeup on it, so I guess I'll just leave it in. Okay, so now I'm going to mix a little bit of that 470 and that 445 just to kind of recreate that shade, because to me the Fenty concealers have a little bit more coverage. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to use the same shade that I just used, the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I think this is the OG one. I don't think this is the glowy one. They have like a glowy one. I think this is just the regular formula. And I'm going to use that again to just kind of fine tune the top part of my forehead. And little like poking motions will give you more coverage, and wiping motions will take away coverage. Okay, so here we are thus far. So as you can see, it's still pretty natural with just that part done. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna highlight a little bit with that same Fenty concealer in the shade 420. I'm just gonna kind of use that to bring out my under eye, inner cheek area, to kind of, you know, brighten that up just a little bit more. And I'm really going to kind of cut upward or angle it so that it kind of lifts me up a little bit. Okay, so now I am now I'm going to just go in and add a little bit of dimension to my face. So I'm just going to go in and start kind of contouring or bronzing, you know, however you want to call it, depending on, you know, the shade that you're using. But I'm going to go in and add a little bit of definition with the Fenty chocolate bronzer. It's the cream one. And this video is not sponsored by Fenty. I wish it was, but it's not. I just really like the Fenty products. Like I said, they are on kind of like the more expensive, not unaffordable, not unattainable, but they're definitely not drugstore. But you know, even so, they are worth the money. I love Fenty products. So the next thing I'm going to do is just contour with this shade, and it looks like this. And this is the cream bronzer, and I'm using a Morphe E48 brush, and this video is also not sponsored by Morphe. I wish that it was, but I'm just going to take a little bit like so and just wipe off the excess from my hand. And I'm going to be maybe a little bit more heavy-handed just so you can see it, see what I'm doing. Okay, and this is a nice little round pointed you know, brush. I think great to use. And this product is awesome because it's a cream, and so it's going to help kind of reflect that natural glow that skin naturally has. And I'm just going to work that. Just going to work that into the hollows of my cheeks. Okay. A little bit less. Ooh. Ooh. I think work a little bit in the corners of my forehead. I'm okay with having a big forehead, it's just the corners. I prefer to contour the corners more than just the whole, you know, forehead area. Okay. Okay. And so to clean that up, I'll just go back in with my Fenty 420 concealer using that same little angled brush. This little guy here. And I have a little bit more left on my hand, so I'll just work with that, you know. And to blend that out, I'll just use like a little dual fiber brush. This is the number 8 BH Cosmetics. It looks kind of like a blush brush, but like dual fiber, maybe. And I'm just gonna blend upward to help get rid of any harsh lines. Going back into my cream bronzer, I'm gonna go underneath my lip, a little bit on the jawline. Okay, then I'm gonna go with a little domed eyeshadow brush like so, and just kind of contour my brow area and my nose area as well. I'm just going to go in again with my little dual fiber brush and just kind of work that inward. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm just kind of going to go back in with that 420 just a little bit and just kind of reinforce anything that I smudged out. Same thing with this area, anything that I smudged out too far, bend it back out. So the next thing that I like to do is go into my brows. Or no. So I think now would be a good time to go in with a tiny touch of powder just to kind of bring the shine down just a little bit. I do want to maintain a lot of the shine, but just to kind of tame it down and just to give it a little bit more lasting power, I'll just add a little bit of powder to it. So I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder in the shade medium deep. If you're not familiar with it, this is the color of the powder in reference to my skin tone. I also want to use my Danessa Myricks Duet. I've used this, but I've never used it with powder. I'll powder and see what happens when I add balm on top of powder. So we'll just have to, okay. So I take a little bit, just like a little bit of powder, bounce off the excess. I'm just gonna lightly kind of put this all over my face, just lightly. Just to kind of set in everything. Really light. Not a whole bunch, but just enough to kind of. It doesn't look like it did much of anything. I can tell in person, but on camera it doesn't look like it did too much of anything, which it shouldn't. Just to kind of bring down the shine just a little bit. So now I'm going to work on my brows. A great product if you are struggling with your brows like me and you're trying to grow them out, it's a Rapid Brow. You can look that up. I don't have it here, but it's called Rapid Brow. They also make a Rapid Lash. You can go on Ulta. I'm sure it's on Amazon. It comes in like a tube that looks like a mascara, and it's blue, and it has like a little spoolie on it, and you just comb it. I think you can use it twice a day. I use it twice a day, and it helps to kind of grow your brows out if you're struggling with your brows. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my Great Lash Clear Mascara. I'm just gonna use that to kind of just coat all the hairs first before I go in with a spoolie of makeup, like a regular spoolie, and sculpt it into place. This is the Morphe E29, and I just use that to start to sculpt. So I comb all of that product through and up, okay, until it looks like that. And then I just take the tip in and I just kind of shape it into something decent. And if you mess up, you can push the product around until it, if it hasn't dried yet, you can still kind of work with the product a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna brush up. Okay, and I think it's important to do this one brow at a time if you've never done it, just so the product won't dry up on you. So as that dries, I'm going to put a little concealer on the middle parts of my eyes to just kind of brighten it up just a little bit. But before I do that, I do want to take a little bit of this Pat McGrath palette. It has some pretty gold and bronze shades in there. I'm gonna take a Morphe, let's see. I'm going to take my Morphe 433 brush, and I think I'm going to dip into this shade here, the middle one. And I'm just going to kind of put that all over my lid. Okay. Just to add a little bit of shine. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it just adds just like the tiniest bit of reflect. So now I'm gonna go back into that Fenty shade in the shade 445, and I'm just gonna put some concealer. I think this is the shade right here. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on the center of my eyelid, just to kind of brighten up my eyes. Since my eyelids are so dark, this is gonna act as like a spotlight. Kind of blend it out a bit. And I'm just gonna focus on this area, just the center part. And then just kind of blend it on out. Blend it, blend it, blend it. Okay, it's subtle, but you can still kind of, you can still kind of see what I did there. Okay. Okay, our brows are dry. Our brows are dry, and so now I'm just gonna go in with this Fenty brow. It's the ultra fine brow pencil and styler, and I'm using the shade Soft Black. And I just angle the brush to how I wish my brows were filled in, and I just kind of flick up and make little tiny hair strokes. And putting the bronzer or the contour inside your brow line really helps to kind of fill it in as well. And I think leaving like a couple of bald spots kind of makes it look, like a little bit more, natural. Okay. And I have not arched my brows in a long time because I'm trying to grow them out. I was going through a phase where I was getting them waxed a lot, and that it's taken them so long to grow back that I don't want to wax them until they're at like the maximum thickness that I want them to be at. So my brows, if they don't look done, it's because they're not done. Okay, so I think that's good. The next thing I'm going to do is going back to the eyes. I'm just going to take this Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner in the shade Black, and I'm just going to use that to kind of tight line just a little bit. Okay, and I just did that just to kind of thicken up my lash line. You can kind of tell it's subtle. Everything that I'm doing is subtle, but it all adds up to the, you know, the final thing, the final picture. Okay, so now I am going to play with highlighter and play with this Danessa Myricks Beauty Balm. I've used this before, but I've just never used it on powder. I do have a small amount of powder on my face, so hopefully I don't mess up this look that I'm trying to do. This is the clear color, so it doesn't have any shine, any pigment. It's just clear. Something on that one? What was the scarf? Oh, got a scarf. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go in with my ring finger and just kind of warm it up and melt it down a little bit, and just kind of pat it softly because I don't want to pick up too much product. Just kind of pat that in, and I'm gonna wipe off my finger every time I dip into it because I don't want to have foundation in it. I don't want it to turn brown. Pat, 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 pat. Oh, that's pretty. Put some on my nose. Some on my chin. Put some in the center of my forehead. Okay. Put some here. And also some here. Oh, and also some here as well, right into my crease. I'm just gonna put some into my crease. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is go into my Fenty highlighter in the shade Mean Money and Hustler Baby. And it looks like this. I don't know if you can see. And I'm just gonna take a Morphe E61, little highlighter brush. And I'm gonna take the side that is Hustler Baby. And I'm just gonna take a little bit, just kind of go around and blend it in with that balm. And just be really gentle, you know, not too harsh. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Work it around in circles, making sure not to disturb too much. Some to the forehead, just really lightly. Here. Some here as well. So now I'm gonna put on some clear mascara. Depending on how this comes out, I might add a little bit of black mascara, but I'm gonna start off with a little clear mascara. And again, it's that Maybelline Great Lash in the shade Clear Transparent. It's the same product that I use for my brows. Okay, I want just a little bit, just the tiniest bit more drama. So I'm just gonna go in this little, it's like a little sample. It's the Clinique High Impact Mascara in the shade 01. Ooh, ashy. Oops. So I'm just gonna go in and just add some to the ends, just to kind of add a little bit more drama to it. And I'm gonna pinch and curl. So now I'm gonna go into the Fenty Gloss and Glass Slipper, and I'm just gonna put that all over my lips. And if you have not tried this lip gloss, it is still, it's been out for a while, but it's still one of my, one of my favorites, one of my most favorite lip glosses, and it smells fantastic. And these last steps are optional depending on what you're wearing. You can contour, highlight, add highlighter, add balm. I think I'm just gonna contour and highlight this area, so I guess I should bring my camera down. So I'm just gonna highlight and contour a little bit using that cream color, again from Fenty and Chocolate, the Danessa Myricks balm, and also the Fenty highlighter that I just used. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed those awkward poses as much as I did. So basically this is the final look. Yeah, so most of these products, like I said, are on the bit of the higher end of the spectrum in terms of price. I will be dropping a video on how to do a pretty similar look, if not the same look, with products that are more affordable. I think it came out pretty good, once I added all of the, and also putting the balm on top of powder didn't do as badly as I thought it would do. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it, also subscribe to my channel, comment, positive, negative. I love feedback. It doesn't matter, just comment and I'll be sure, if I can, to try to respond to you and answer any questions that you may have. If I did not mention anything, I will definitely be mentioning it in the description bar below. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will see you guys next time. Thanks.